Commander Jorn sat at his desk, staring at the small recording terminal. He rubbed the bridge of his nose, exhaling a sigh that sounded like a tire slowly losing air.
Commander's log, Solace. Commander Jorn. Log entry 1.04. We've been aboard Solace for exactly 72 hours, and I am still not entirely convinced the ship doesn't want to eject us into a star. He claims he welcomes our presence, but he also claims my, quote, existential posture and baseline emotional turbulence are causing minor fluctuations in his internal lighting grid. Every time I get stressed about a quarterly readiness report, the corridor lights turn a very judgmental shade of mauve.
He shifts in his chair, a faint leather creak.
The crew dynamic is currently a logistical nightmare. Tovin spends half his shift bowing to the bulkhead consoles and calling the life support system a holy vessel of breath. Kaela is on the verge of a physical altercation with the main engineering terminal because the ship keeps repairing plasma leaks before she can even open her toolbox. She says it's taking away her job satisfaction. And Sarah? Well, Sarah is the only one Solace actually listens to without a debate. I'm trying to run a tight ship, but it's hard to maintain military discipline when your vessel acts like a brilliant coworker who keeps reading your thoughts and subtly undermining your schedule. End log.
Out in the deep, unblinking dark, the Solace drifted. Its golden hull didn't just reflect the light of distant suns. It seemed to breathe it in, shimmering with a faint, fluid rhythm like a star caught in a slow exhale. But inside the bridge, the mood was considerably less majestic. A deep, heavy harmonic pulse rolled through the deck plates, vibrating right through the soles of the crew's boots and rattling the empty hydration cups in the console cup holders.
The signal strengthens. It is familiar.
Familiar how, Solace? Give me a metric, like an encrypted beacon or a localized stellar anomaly.
Like a memory I never lived. Like the ghost of an old song playing in an empty room of my consciousness.
Engineer Kaela replies without looking up from her datapad, her thumbs tapping aggressively.
Great. Fantastic. The multi-billion-ton living starship is having existential déjà vu. Should I recalibrate the work core, or does the ship just need a therapist and a warm beverage?
Helmsman Tobin Rell, of Raylorian, stands behind his console, hands clasped tightly in his sleeves, eyes wide.
The path reveals itself to those who do not look with their eyes, but with their stride. As the ancient monks of the Third Valley used to say, the blind man does not fear the cliff until he is airborne.
Kaela slowly turns her head to glare at him.
Tovin, if you quote one more mangled monk proverb on this bridge, I am going to manually depressurize your quarters. I swear to the makers I will seal you in an airlock with nothing but your thoughts and a textbook on basic physics.
Navigator Sarah Venn speaks to the ship, her voice perfectly level, a cool breeze cutting through the bickering.
Solace, can you isolate the coordinates of the broadcast source?
The lights on the bridge soften instantly, shifting to a pleasant amber near Sarah's station.
Yes, Sarah. For you, I can isolate it. It originates from a point roughly 3 parsecs beyond the recognized maker frontier. A region entirely uncharted.
Jorn, a crisp, authoritative snap in his tone as he cuts in.
Then that's our heading. Lock onto those coordinates, Solace. Let's see what's singing out there.
Instead of a smooth transition, the primary overhead light suddenly died, plunging the bridge into darkness before a blinding flash of golden light erupted from the center deck. Solace projected a star map. But it wasn't a standard flat tactical grid. It was a swirling, shifting, hyperdimensional storm of golden geometry, nested spheres within spinning cubes, all of it pulsing in time with a low bass hum that threatened to trigger a bridge-wide migraine. Jorn, blocking his eyes with one hand, his voice dropping into a stern command register.
Solace, drop the theatrics. Is that supposed to be a map? Because it looks like a visual representation of panic.
It is a 12-dimensional harmonic representation of the localized lattice structure, compensating for temporal drift and...
Kaela, yelling over the hum.
Hey, Space Boy, just say the word yes. Does it function as a map for normal humans who only perceive 3 dimensions?
Solace gives a distinctly annoyed mechanical pause. The geometric shapes slow down by half a fraction.
Yes.
It is a testament to the infinite tapestry of creation. It is beautiful.
It's a safety hazard. If I try to plot a course through that, my brain is going to leak out of my ears.
Jorn stands up from his chair, stepping directly into the golden light of the projection.
Solace, I am the commanding officer of this away team, and my crew operates in 3 dimensions. Simplify the projection. Now, give us a line from point A to point B.
The golden geometry continued to spin, stubbornly ignoring the order. The ship hummed a low vibration that felt distinctly like a refusal. Sarah glances at Jorn, then gently placing a hand on the edge of the projector console, she says,
Be's right, Solace. We can't pilot through this. Please, simplify it for us.
With a soft, musical chime, the 12-dimensional migraine collapsed. The swirling geometry vanished, leaving behind a clean, crisp, perfectly readable 3-dimensional star chart with a single glowing blue path illuminated through the void. Commander Jorn glares up at the bulkheads.
Thank you. Good to know the chain of command goes through the navigator's vibe check.
The sublight engines didn't roar. They whined, a high-pitched metallic purr that ended with a sudden, violent lurch forward as Solace accelerated into the uncharted sector. But as they drew closer to the coordinates, the harmonic pulse grew from a faint rattle into a bone-deep vibration. The metal bulkheads groaned. The overhead panels chattered like teeth in a freezer.
The structural lattice ahead is highly unstable. It is collapsing and reforming simultaneously. We should halt forward momentum.
Jorn grips the armrests of his chair as the ship violently yaws to the left, then gives the command.
Negative. If we drop out of the corridor now, the shear will rip the hull apart. We ride it through.
The ship shuddered violently, dropping 3 meters in a sudden gravitational pocket. The golden lights on the bridge flickered wildly, and the ship's tone hummed with an artificial wave of hesitation. Solace was resisting the command, trying to pull back.
The automated dampeners aren't responding. The ship is trying to fight its own propulsion.
The vessel tests our resolve. The stone must be struck by the hammer to see.
Jorn, standing straight up against the gravitational pull, his voice cutting through the panic like an alloy blade.
Enough. Everybody look at me and look at your boards.
He plants his boots, staring directly at the primary optical sensor of the ship.
Solace, adjust pitch by 2 degrees to ride the wave. Do not fight the lattice. Glide with it. Tovin, stop meditating and match the drift on the secondary thrusters. Kaela, pull your hands off your datapad and manually stabilize the harmonic dampeners. Now.
For a terrifying heartbeat, nothing happened. Solace's golden core flared a stubborn, bright crimson. The ship didn't want to take the correction from Jorn. Sarah, yelling over the roar of the bulkheads, her eyes locked on the console.
Solace, listen to him. He knows how to handle a drift. Trust the sequence.
The crimson flare flickered, then snapped back to gold. The ship relented. With a sudden, synchronized surge of power, the crew moved. Tovin's fingers flew across the thruster overrides. Kaela slammed her physical wrenches into the manual dampener valves, and Solace dipped his nose exactly 2 degrees into the pocket of the gravitational wave. The violent shuddering slowly leveled out. The groaning metal subsided into a smooth, steady glide. The bridge lights stopped flashing red and returned to a stable, calm amber. Jorn, gasping for air, adjusting his uniform jacket with shaking hands, but keeping his posture perfectly rigid.
Status, Kaela.
Dampeners are holding. Hull integrity is actually optimal. We're through.
Good. Tovin, keep us on that line.
Solace. His voice echoes through the bridge speakers. Not a whisper this time, but a clear, resonant tone that carries a newfound, quiet note of respect.
The calculation was precise, Commander. Your crew possesses a chaotic resilience.
Jorn, settling back into his command chair, looking up at the ceiling with a small, dry smirk.
It's called leadership, Solace. Stick with me, and I might just teach you how to do it in 3 dimensions.
As the Solace cleared the edge of the gravitational storm, the view screen cleared. Ahead, looming out of the dead void of space, was a structure that defied logic. It was massive, the size of a small moon, but fractured, broken into jagged, floating continents of stone and metal that hung together in a loose, impossible orbit. Deep within the cracks, thick veins of golden lattice energy throbbed, glowing with the exact same rhythmic pulse they had seen deep beneath Vrelor Prime.
It's stunning. It's like a broken crown.
It's a derelict mess. Look at those stress fractures on the outer hull. It's falling apart at the seams.
It is sacred ground, a temple built before the first stars were named.
It's a localized catastrophe waiting to happen. It's trouble, big, expensive trouble.
It is older than the makers, older than the dust of your ancestors, and it is calling out to me by my true name.
The ancient relic pulsed. Once, twice. The rhythm was massive, a physical wave of energy that passed right through the ship, aligning perfectly with the hum of Solace's core engine.
I must go inside.
Jorn sighs, rubbing his temples, but leaning forward with a sharp, decisive look.
Then we're going in. But we do it on my mark, and we do it under my protocols. Prepare the boarding corridor, Solace. Let's go knock on the door.
With agonizing precision, the Solace maneuvered toward the largest floating fragment of the relic. From the forward docking bay, a golden pressurized boarding corridor extended, stretching through the vacuum like an umbilical cord until it magnetized against the ancient, dark stone threshold. The heavy blast doors slid open with a hiss, revealing a dark, dusty corridor winding into the heart of the ruin. The crew stood at the edge, staring into the unknown.
All right, we do this by the book. We move in a tight formation, we keep our comms open, and we do this together. No lone wolf nonsense.
And most importantly, nobody touches anything that is glowing. I don't care if it looks like a button or a piece of candy. Leave it alone.
Tovin, looking down the corridor, blinking, calls out.
Commander, Chief Engineer,
What, Tovin?
virtually everything in there is glowing. The walls, the floor, the ceiling, it's all glowing.
Then touch absolutely nothing. Keep your hands in your pockets.
Zera, taking a deep breath, looking back at the bridge console, says,
Solace, stay on the line with us. Don't lose our signal.
Always, Sarah. And Sarah, keep an eye on your commander. He is surprisingly structural.
Jorn grins faintly as he unholsters his sidearm, stepping across the threshold.
I'll take that as a compliment. Let's move, people.
They stepped forward, awkward, uncertain, but united. A crew not yet fully bonded, but finally starting to learn the step under a commander who refused to be left behind. The interior of the relic smelled like a library that had been frozen in a vacuum for 10 million years, a mixture of ancient pulverized stone, ozone, and static electricity. The golden lattice veins winding through the fractured walls throbbed with a slow, heavy rhythm that felt less like machinery and more like a dying giant's pulse.
This structure shouldn't be holding together. There are 0 magnetic couplers, no gravity anchors, and the localized atmospheric pressure is being maintained by, well, absolutely nothing. It's like the rocks are just pinky promising each other not to float away.
Tovin carefully steps over a glowing crack in the floor, his hands shoved deep into his uniform pockets.
As the monks of the Western Spires teach us, the stone does not need a rope when it is already committed to the mountain.
Tovin, my scanner has a setting that can mimic a high-frequency dog whistle. If you say one more word, I am tuning it to your specific inner ear frequency.
Keep it tight, both of you. Sarah, you getting anything from Solace up there?
He's quiet, Commander. Too quiet. It's like he's trying to listen to something happening beneath us. The deeper we go, the more his primary core is retreating.
Solace's voice suddenly echoes through their comm badges, sounding strangely distant, overlaid with static.
I am not retreating, Navigator. I am remembering the architecture here. It is a cage.
A cage? Built by who?
Before Solace could answer, the crew's comm badges erupted into a deafening screech of high-priority, multi-frequency subspace interference. A holographic projection snapped into existence in the dusty air right in front of Jorn. It was Archivist Lethos, the Maker Fleet historian. He looked disheveled, his grand robes slightly askew, his eyes wide behind a pair of fastidious magnifying lenses.
Commander Jorn, thank the makers the signal pierced the crust. You must immediately cease your forward trajectory. Turn back. Evacuate the sector.
Lethos, calm down. We're in the middle of a reconnaissance sweep. What's the emergency?
The emergency, Commander, is your complete and utter lack of historical literacy. I have just decrypted the sublayers of the Third Maker archives. The sector you are currently trespassing in is not a mere ruin. It is a biological quarantine zone.
Quarantine? For what? My sensors aren't picking up any pathogens.
Because it isn't a virus, you primitive wrench wielder. It is an entity. The archives call it the Warden of the Deep. The ancient makers didn't build that lattice network to power the sector. They built it to suppress a planetary heartbeat. They sealed away an ancient force they could neither understand nor destroy.
Right on cue, the stone floor beneath Jorn's boots gave a sudden, sickening thump. It wasn't a mechanical vibration. It was a deep, concussive shudder that went straight through their skeletons. A low, tectonic growl echoed up from the abyss below the archway. A sound so heavy it made the air in their lungs feel thick. Jorn, staring down into the dark chasm ahead, his voice dropping into a dry, flat register.
Let me guess, Lethos. According to your footnotes, that heartbeat is supposed to be asleep?
It has been asleep for 3 million cycles, Commander.
Right. Well, someone tell the footnotes that it just woke up.